You've got to enjoy line work. It's got to be in your blood. There's a lot of days of hard work, late nights, not coming home to your family.
Sometimes there's no communication. You know, you leave with the kids, they're there, and they work, 24 hours. They barely sleep.
But in the end, we enjoy to do it. And if you don't, you won't be here.
They do the best they can, as fast as they can, but as long as they're safe. Because we want everybody to go home at the end of the day to their family and friends.
Long hours, and they're at work all the time, and storms happen and they're the first ones to get called, so it's a little scary sometimes.
It's usually dark outside, it's usually bad weather, and they're up there in those poles and they're risking their lives to make sure we have power. We don't think about it. It's one of those things that we don't miss until it's gone, which is power. We can do nothing without electricity. Watching them do what they do, we take that for granted.
If safety wasn't number one, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. We'd be dead by now. There's usually no second chances.
We stress safety. Safety is number one. The time is secondary. You want a good time because you want to be efficient. What this does, we find out.
Hey, stop for them.
Need an ambulance at mystery event. Aaron, need an ambulance at mystery event.
She's on the way.
These are the best linemen across Florida.
We all get together once a year, and we build power lines, and we rodeo, and we have a good time.
And these are the guys that will travel back and forth to each other's communities to help each other out.
I've seen a lot of these guys from the time they were little. Actually seen some of them when they were following their dads around, and now they're competing.
The competition is, I went to my first one in 2008, and I've never looked at guys on the side of the road putting up power lines the same. You get a real appreciation of what's behind the light switch.
I'm Heather Teter, and this is On Location. Many people don't know what's involved with keeping the lights on in Tallahassee. When the power goes out, the City of Tallahassee's electric utility department gets to work. These are some of the hardest working people, and yet they're often taken for granted. In today's episode, we'll get a rare glimpse of these guys in action at the 15th Annual Florida Municipal Electric Association's Florida Lineman Competition. I don't know what I got myself into with this.
You don't. Pull your britches up.
I got
No, right here. Pull them up at the knees. Pull them up at the knees. No, right above.
Oh, you like my socks?
Yeah.
They match my
There you go.
paint. So this is actual equipment that you wear out in the field whenever you're doing your job.
You don't leave home without it.
Okay.
Everywhere you go, your hooks and belt will be with you.
Smallest this belt's ever been.
I feel like I'm going zip lining or something. This is like a good 30 pounds or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have no tools.
Right, you don't have any tools.
Oh, wow. Okay, so now what do I do?
So I'd be on the pole.
Hook her up, Adam.
Oh.
All right. Lean back. Lean back. Lean back.
Oh.
All right, you ain't going nowhere. All right.
Okay, so you have to go all the way
All the way to the top.
up?
Yeah. That's what that $100 bill is.
Now you gonna step with
It's at the top of that pole.
I don't think that one's in good. Okay.
Oh, Please
Take
don't.
another step up.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
good.
Oh.
Now a little step.
Ooh.
Just a little step.
Oh, so not that far?
Not that high.
Okay.
Drop it. Pull her up some, Adam.
She is. So
Careful.
do I hold it and then lift this leg up again, or?
No,
You gonna high enough.
You ain't gonna make it. Jam it in there too, man.
Is that too high?
Good right there.
That's good.
Okay. Oh.
A little step.
Ooh.
Just a little step.
Okay.
Careful.
Okay. I'm gonna hold my, yeah.
All right, now lean back.
That's not so bad.
Yeah.
I think that's probably as far as I want to go. How long does it take you to get all the way up?
Me, about 2 days.
So how do I get down? So how do I get down? 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 How do I get down?
Same way you went up.
Woo! That was fun.
You can see the whole yard. And over here on this side is the Apprentice events. This is what we call an obstacle course. They have to run up, stop at that bottom arm, move that insulator from one side to the other. Unsafe to go to the next arm, move that insulator, go up to the top, move that switch, and then come back down.
Wow.
They got to do it without dropping anything, and it's all timed and all that stuff. And this is what's called a cross arm relocation. See how the cross arm's going this way? Well, they got to turn it 90 degrees. They got to take it off, put it on their belt, and walk around, put it back on and reinstall it.
Okay.
This is on the switch relocation. They have to take that switch that's sitting in the middle of that pole with the gray insulators. They have to move it from one side of the pole to the other. Right here is what's called the hurt man.
I see him over there.
Yeah, everybody, once a year, all in the electrical industry, they have to perform the hurt man. And most time, it needs to be done under 4 minutes. And so once a year, you do hurt man training. So that's one of the most important things we do. Those are called bells. See how they look like a bell?
Okay.
And we have to get them down. And the wire's very tight, but it's very hard to bend. And nobody knows what this event is yet.
Is this a new event this year?
They have one event's usually called a mystery.
Okay.
And only one man knows it. And he has a hard time keeping it a secret, but he does a good job. And so we don't even know yet.
So we don't even know. As the host of the event, we don't even know what this event is.
That man right there, that funny looking man with his pants tucked in his boots, he's the only one that knows.
He's the only one that knows.
He is the second best lineman in the state of Florida.
Are you the first?
How'd you guess? This is Robert Badger. He's from Lakeland, Florida.
You got to love what you do. It's not like any other job where you're forced into this work or you do it because there's nothing else to do. There's a reason it pays good money, because it's dangerous work. You got to want to do it.
Heather Teter, WCOT.
This is Aaron.
Heather Teter.
I always have a hard time pronouncing his last name. #1 judge over everything. It wouldn't happen if it wasn't for Aaron.
So can you tell me a little bit about the mystery obstacle?
That would be Mr. Padgham. No, ma'am. There you go.
And I have one question. I mean, I know we're all out here for fun and games. Tell me what this means for citizens. The work that you do day in and day out in inclement weather and good weather, what does that mean?
Well, most people don't see us till the lights go out. They don't know what we do, and that's okay. If we're working in their rear lot, a lot of times they're at work or they're in sleep at night if there's storm trouble, so they don't know it really what we do. They think nobody climbs anymore, a lot of people, because we have so many bucket trucks. But all three of these utilities right here have a high amount of poles that you can't get trucks to. But the public can come out and see that we still do it. We're out doing it for free.
We've had several competitions too where we've had people come in from the public and they've watched it and I've had them come up to me and they're like, man, I didn't realize this is what you guys do. You know, this is really wild, you know, and they're really impressed in it. So it's always nice to, I mean, it's good that you're putting it out there, letting people know in the community to come out and see what we do for a living. You know, these guys out here are laying their lives on the line. You know, when these storms hit, and you know, there's a lot of danger and hazard in there. But you know, we're all trained. We've got the safety equipment. It's evolved throughout the years. We're working with things now today that they didn't have many years ago, and you know, it's really evolved throughout the years. But having the community awareness is really a good thing, so they see what we're doing.
Everybody's out here on their own time. Yeah. Nobody's getting paid. They're out here on their own time. They'll be out here tomorrow on their own time. We're just thankful that the management and the citizens let us do this. We're paying tribute to how the guys used to do it in the past. Right. It's all about honoring the past, looking towards the future.
The linemen love this competition because they love their work. Every event here represents a real-life scenario for restoring power. And what we try to do is put folks in situations where they would need to work quickly, work safely, and work skillfully so that they can test their knowledge and their ability to get the work done, mostly because what we're trying to do is keep the power on for our community and citizens statewide. We rely on each other. All the municipal utilities across Florida rely on each other for support when there are bad storms and hurricanes. These are the best linemen across Florida. And these are the guys that will travel back and forth to each other's communities to help each other out. So not only are we here competing, but we're also developing relationships so that when there's a need, that these are the family of linemen that will show up to help each other's communities get the lights back on.
This is the 15th annual event, and so being the host for the 15th here in the capital city and us getting to host it, it's a great honor. Our guys have been looking forward to this all year. They love going down and competing, but also being able to host, we get to have more guys compete because we have less travel, we're in closer, and we get to have all of our friends from all the other utilities come in and see our facilities and get to see our town.
To the 15th annual lineman competition?
Well, I know a bunch of guys out here. I work for the city already, so I know several of them. Just wanted to watch them compete. Being a lineman would be really cool.
So maybe come next year we'll see you up there on that pole, huh?
Maybe so. I've applied, you know, and maybe, fingers crossed.
Well, we started about 5 months ago, so it was a huge planning committee. We had, of course, FMEA, the Florida Municipal, Committee on board, and the linemen. We had several of them, and our marketing team. And so we just, it took a lot of effort. We wanted to make it fun and exciting for family members to want to come out, but also the importance of what the event was all about. It's very informative. It's a lot of fun, so definitely come out and enjoy it.
How do we look? I think this hat's more my size, don't you think? What do you think? You like that hat better? No. You want your hat back? Yeah.
It's the dead end event for the apprentice linemen. They're moving the wire from the very top of one pole to the top of the other pole. That's the primary. Then we have what's called the neutral. It's about midways up the pole. They move it from there to the new pole.
And what are you looking for today as a judge?
Don't drop anything and don't fall off the pole.
Very sound, that's sound advice.
My grandson, Dan Reams, is up the pole, and I want him to win because he works hard. He won the Apprentice last year for Tallahassee. Tallahassee won last year, and I saw the guys in the parking lot at Harvey's 2 years before and told them if Dan Reams was in North Carolina and he was coming to Tallahassee to get a job, and get him, and they would win. And they're here this year, 1 year later. They're in Tallahassee, and we want them back in Tallahassee.
I mean, you got to think about everything that's going on the whole time. And y'all just seen I messed up a little bit, but it happens. Pretty hard event.
I hear wonderful things from all of his bosses, and he's a wonderful grandson. We would have made T-shirts if we'd have known we were allowed to wear them.
It started out pretty good. I felt my rhythm going up good. When I got up there, I just lost everything. I was all track of thought that was going on. The hand line crossed on me a couple times, and I had to fight with it to get it down. I forgot to get my old stuff off the old pole. It just didn't work out right for me today.
Do you represent?
I am a supplier for the electrical utilities. These are what they call shotgun sticks. They're insulated to keep a barrier between the guys and the electricity. This is actually a part of the climbing belt they wrap around the pole as they're going up. You've got your tool bags, climb tool bags, and various hand tools that each of the guys use.
You can tell the difference between some of the guys more seasoned climbers and linemen than some of the other ones. You can tell how quickly they're working, if they're having problems with their hands, as far as stumbling or how fluent they are. But yeah, they're like squirrels. They get up and down these poles pretty good. It's pretty impressive.
And what are your thoughts about today's competition? Is there a clear winner? Who are you gunning for?
Well, being they're all customers of mine, I hope they're all winners. But City of Tallahassee seems to be doing good right now, so I'm kind of cross my fingers for those guys.
Let's
being
keep
that we're in
our
Tallahassee.
fingers crossed. Yes.
I just participated in the Hurt Man event. It's ordeal if one of our guys get hurt. I mean, we have to go up there and rescue them. I mean, that's a big part of our job, just being there for each other. It's all about preparation, I mean, you got to, you know, line your stuff out. You know, it's all about shaving off time as much as possible. So the less moves you have to make to complete your task is better. And you know, you doing less work. That's always good. Go. I tell people, it's like any other job. I mean, once you learn the basics, you build from there, and everything comes together. You know, eventually over time. So don't get overwhelmed by how tedious it may look or whatever. You know, just apply yourself.
Look at them go. That is so amazing. I could not do that. Actually, I know I can't do that. I tried. Failed miserably. But at least I tried.
I actually used to work in the water department, and at the time it was at the same location as T&D, and I always seen those bucket trucks and stuff. I say, that's kind of cool. So I say, hey, I'm gonna try it out. And ever since then, I've been loving it, you know. Every day it's a new experience, something new to learn.
We're gonna pull it and put it on your sandwich.
Earlier today we had a little threat of rain, but it looks like the weather has held off. It's bright and sunny now. It's actually a little sweltering. If you see some of these linemen, they are dripping sweat. You look like you just had a workout.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, but I'd be lying. It was, it's pretty hard, a little hot out, humid. I think he's scared of me. He sweats when he gets scared, and I think he's scared of me.
We're here with Miss Cheryl from the Florida Municipal Electric Association, and she's going to tell us a little bit about FMEA and why they put this competition on each year. Miss Cheryl?
Well, good morning. FMEA, we represent the 33 municipal utilities in the state of Florida. So the city of Tallahassee is actually one of our premier cities, like Jacksonville, Gainesville, Ocala, various, and all the way down to Key West. Well, this year, the city of Tallahassee is hosting it. We're glad to be here. This is our 15th annual. So we've been doing this for 15 years, started in 2001 with Lakeland Electric, and Tallahassee's going big with 2015.
And tell me a little bit about what this competition means for the linemen who compete in it each year.
Bragging rights. They actually brag about who won, and matter of fact, last year, City of Tallahassee won in Ocala. So now City of Tallahassee here, it tends to be wherever we go, they don't win. So we're interested to see who wins tonight. Last year, Tallahassee actually took the team as well as the Apprentice program. So they swept last year.
Well, let's hope that's not the case, that the city who hosts, loses. Let's hope that the city of Tallahassee shows up proud and wins first place this year.
Well, I started out, recognized that some of my buddies was making a little more money than I was, and honestly, I had no idea that there was even power lines running up and down the street. Never even thought about it. So I started my first day with no knowledge of power lines at all.
And look at you now. You're about to compete in the lineman competition and hopefully kick some butt and take names, right?
Yes, ma'am. We're going to try.
Look at that! So here today at the electric lineman competition, we have people from all across Florida and even from South Georgia. And we're actually in the presence of royalty. Believe it or not, the king himself is here today with us. And by the king, I mean Elvis. Right? Yeah. So, Elvis, it appears you have not left the building. Thank you for joining us here today. Do you have anything to say about the competition? That good, huh? I think Elvis wants to get back to his duties. We'll see you later, Elvis.
Well, the big thing is safety. We don't put the crews in harm's way other than they're normal. When we have a storm, we do take a little more time because it does get more hazardous out there. But when they do have an outage, they do the best they can, as fast as they can, but as long as they're safe. Because we want everybody to go home at the end of the day to their family and friends so that we can have a safe and profitable and energetic city.
So tell me what it's like to be the spouse of a lineman.
It can be stressful at times. It's a 24-hour job for them.
They work a really hard and stressful job. You have to worry about, their safety often, and they leave long hours, and they're at work all the time, and storms happen and they're the first ones to get called, so it's a little scary sometimes.
Yeah, they get called out like nightly, and it's 24/7. Yeah.
Do you ever worry about your dad being out there?
All the time.
What is that like for you, being back home when there's a hurricane and your husband has to respond?
We have to evacuate, and then they have to stay. So sometimes there's no communication. You leave with the kids, they're there, and they work, 24 hours. They barely sleep.
Your husband must really love his job.
Yes, he does.
And you,
yes, he does.
And you must be a very, very supportive wife to.
I try to be. I do. I mean, you'll see what these guys do out here. You'll see exactly.
It's tough work.
Goes on, and then imagine the rain and the thunder and the heat and all those things, and there are millions of people without power, and they have to. So just add that in. And all of that.
It's not unusual to get called at like 2 a.m. to go fix a down power line, right?
No, not at all. That's completely normal.
I mean, I worry about him, but not really, because I know he's going to be careful, and he's going to come home because he's just that kind of guy.
When citizens have the power out, our linemen are out getting the job done no matter what the weather is, right?
That's exactly right. We do it in all kinds of weather.
What words of encouragement do you have for your dad and other linemen competing today?
Just to make sure, don't overthink it, and be safe. Definitely be safe up there. Don't really overthink it. I mean, you might not win today, but it's what came in your heart. If you thought you did good, that's what matters.
Kyle, get out of the shotgun. Get it out of the shotgun.
So we are on our way to see the first place trophies for the competition. So we are getting a sneak peek of the trophies before the actual linemen even get to see them.
This is first place overall for the journeyman team. So this trophy they will actually get to take back to their utility, and it will stay in their utility. This is something that we've been doing for the last 15 years. This year we've started something new to celebrate the 15th anniversary. And we got a traveling cup. And this will be a traveling cup, much like the Stanley Cup, where the overall winner will get to take it back to their utility, and it will live there for a year. And then next year they'll bring it back, and the next champion will take it to theirs. And overall in the journeymen, and they were overall in the apprentices, so they completely won the event last year. The competition usually comes down to fractions of a second because the guys are so trained and so used to doing these kind of tasks every day. They don't make mistakes. They don't get the 2-point deduction, so it comes down to how fast they actually run the event. And we go down to 100th of a second, so there have been times where 100th of a second will separate first and second. The competition is, I went to my first one in 2008, and I've never looked at guys on the side of the road putting up power lines the same again. You get a real appreciation for what they do every day, the kind of sacrifices they make, because they're really putting their lives on the line. So you get a real appreciation of what's behind the light switch.
Congratulations once again to the City of Tallahassee for taking home top honors at this year's FMEA lineman competition. The city took home first place overall in all 3 categories, including journeyman, senior journeyman, and apprentice. The city also received a first place safety award. Good job, guys. Judging by the results of the competition, our electric utility customers are in good hands. That's it for today's episode. I'm Heather Teter with WCOT, and we hope to see you next time, somewhere on location.